Welcome, everybody. How you doing? I'm Doc G from Health Radio, and I've got the Jimmy Deal Show with the celebrity broadcast today. And I've got our good friend and comedian, Mike Marino. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, man. Thank you so much for having me on the show. What's going on?
It's a pleasure. We want to talk to you, Mike, because, you know, Jimmy and you, of course, I met you once before. Jimmy, I don't think I ever met you. But you're an amazing comedian. You're funny. And
very funny guy.
That's kind of hard.
I try my damnedest, man.
So how did you start out in this?
I never set out to be a comedian. When I was a little kid growing up in New Jersey, where I am right now, I would go into New York City all the time, and I grew up doing TV commercials. So from like the age of 13, 14, I was actually always on television. Potato chip commercials, gum. Then I grew up into my 20s, beer and, airline shit, whatever the hell it was. But I was always on television since I was a kid. Then I went to acting school. I was on a soap for a while. But I never wanted to be a funny guy. I wanted to be a serious, dramatic actor.
See, that's something I never do. Jimmy, you got any questions for Mike?
Yeah, sure. I mean, did anybody influence you, Mike? Who did you look up to when you were getting into comedy? Anybody?
Well, in the beginning, I used to impersonate TV commercials for my family.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up in an Italian family, everybody's eating macaroni down the basement. I was the entertainment. So I would sing the jingles that you would see on an Ajax commercial. I would want to be like all the actors. I really wanted to just be Robert De Niro like everybody else. But when I started doing stand-up, I must have been 28, 29 years old. And I went to an open mic. And I didn't go there because I went for the open mic. I went there because my friends wanted to go into the bar and have some drinks. Then I looked and I'm like, I could do that. Give me that thing. I'll do that. And I won like $50 making fun of my mother.
Wow.
And that's pretty much what got me going. And then, I was always watching and listening to Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, wow, Rodney. You've done over 200 commercials. Do you still do commercials? Do you still work on acting stuff?
Probably more now than the 200.
Wow.
Because I was back in the day in the 70s and the 80s, you book a couple TV commercials, you went on vacation for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not like that anymore. But because I'm doing stand-up, I got endorsements and I got sponsors. So I did the commercials for the sponsors. I did the endorsements. I had a big sponsor last year while I was out on tour. It was Lucatelli Cheese. And so what I did was I got my production team to come and shoot commercials with me while I was performing. So I would say, hey, if you're going to cut the cheese, cut Lucatelli, And I would do that on radio and I would do that on television. And then they sponsored a big event. So if you got 1,500 people coming to watch a nice big comedy concert and you got that big sponsor up there, life is fantastic.
Right.
Now it's harder to get the sponsors because we're in COVID.
Right.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Now, how are you coping with the COVID, by the way? Dealing with it, not able to perform.
I would say like the majority of entertainers that I know, like the majority of comedians that I've known or know, is very depressing. It's very hard not to crawl into your hole and go, what the hell am I going to do? What am I going to do? Now, luckily, I have my podcast. Luckily, I have some sponsors. Luckily, I have some tours and some residuals. But my whole year, like everybody else, I'm not saying it's just me, but 2020 sucks.
Absolutely.
And we can only hope that maybe the first 3 months and then we're where we need to be of next year. I don't know. I mean, I was a big shot in Hollywood. I can drive down the Sunset Strip on a Saturday night. My name was on the marquee.
So cool.
I don't even know if that's going to have to happen again.
I hear when you first went out to LA, your mom wanted you to do Family Feud, right?
Well, that's a setup for a joke. If you want me to do that, I can. You're allowed to curse. You're allowed to curse on your show?
Sure. Okay.
What's really funny is that joke was stolen by another comedian. And he did it on the internet because he's one of these young up-and-coming comedians who thought that maybe this would be a good idea. And he got hammered by at least 20 comedians who said, you just did a signature joke that Mike Marino has the copyright on, album number 3. So, we tried to shut them down, but these kids, they get the viral bullshit. 100,000 people look at it, and all of a sudden it belongs to him. And then it's disgusting because I did that joke in 1997.
Wow, that was a fantastic joke. Loved it.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of jokes that were current at the time.
Right.
So when I would say Italians on Baywatch was on television.
Right.
When I did the Family Feud, it was when Richard Dawson was getting ready to leave the show and somebody else came on. So I was making fun of the fact that he was drunk and he used to kiss all the people. And you can't kiss anybody now. So I did Italians going like this. Let me tell you something, Mr. Dawson. You ever kiss my wife like that again, I'm going to slap you right back in a Hogan's Heroes. It was of the time, you know what I mean?
Right. So you worked out in LA. Did you do the Comedy Store? And I know you did the Laugh Factory out there. Did you enjoy working out in Los Angeles?
Oh yeah, it was the greatest. I started at the Comedy Store. That would have been my home club. I think it was 1995. I got signed up to play there.
Okay.
And I had all my friends that were there when Joe Rogan was just kind of new. Joe Diaz was new. All these cats were new. We used to see Dice there all the time.
Yeah.
And I was there for about 10 years before I made a little bit of a switch over to the Laugh Factory.
Mm-hmm.
And the Comedy Store at that time was starting to slow down and die out. Who knew it was going to make this big surge? Now it's the biggest comedy club in the world.
Right.
So who knows what's going to happen now that they're both closed?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, the Comedy Store was so great because when you went there, you never know who was going to pop in. Never knew who was going to walk through the door and get up on stage, which was awesome. It's one of my favorite places to visit out in LA. I know the first time I was there, Arsenio was there with Eddie Murphy, and then Dice came in. So it was like you just don't know who's going to walk through the door and do a performance. But
yeah, but you never know what the hell's going to happen, man. Eddie Griffin would go on stage for 2 hours. They had to carry him out. I used to see the craziest shit. It was out of control.
Yeah.
And, that was also a little bit of a drug era, too. So people were falling down in the parking lot. Who was doing coke? Who was smoking weed? But then it had a resurgence, and now it's just like state of the art. But so is the Laugh Factory. And the Laugh Factory had 2 clubs in Los Angeles, one in Vegas, one in Chicago, and one in Reno.
Oh, okay.
Oh, who knows what's going to happen with all those clubs? I know they opened up the one in Vegas.
Right.
But could you imagine telling somebody you can only do 25% capacity when everybody's trying to sell out so that they could actually earn a big buck?
Right. Did you enjoy working in Las Vegas?
Oh, who doesn't love Vegas?
Yeah.
I'd give anything to go to Vegas. I'd move to Vegas if I knew I could perform every night of the week there.
Yeah, it's a great town.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Last time I performed in Vegas, I did a New Year's Eve show, and it snowed. It was just insane.
Wow.
Normally it's hot, but it snowed.
Yes. Wow.
They shut down the street. Everything's outdoors. So you got these outdoor elevators that are getting snowed on. I don't think they've ever even seen that.
I know. I went out there for Thanksgiving once. I took my mom out there, and it's one time. It was always beautiful out there. I go out there, snow, icicles on the trees. I'd never seen anything like it. It was crazy. You're not used to seeing snow in Las Vegas, that's for sure. You toured all over the country, Mike. Do you have a favorite place to perform? You've toured everywhere. What's your favorite place to go and perform?
There was a time where you had your favorite places, let's say, like coming home to New Jersey. But now all of them are my favorite places. Everywhere, anywhere, anytime. Please, Lord, I want to go back. I want to go home. But you know what? I would do cruise ships once a month. Some of the cruise ships have these beautiful 2,000-seat theaters. You're out in the ocean for 5 days. You do 2 shows in front of 1,500 people who are international. Mm-hmm. And some comedians, let's say, maybe they do the old school entertainment and they're forgotten. I come out and I do my Mike Marino from New Jersey. These people go wild. I had people didn't even speak English, laughing crazy, having a ball. And then you meet them, and then you take everybody's email address so that when I do sell tickets at a different place, somebody will say, hey, I saw you in the Caribbean.
Wow.
And that's what you want. So then you got Florida. I love Canada. I love all different places. Canada, like Montreal. Mm-hmm. Then you got Asbury Park, Red Bank, Jersey style.
Yeah. Well, I guess you've done New York City too. You've done did you ever do Caroline's out on Broadway?
I did Caroline's maybe 3 times in my career. I didn't cut my teeth as a comedian in New York. I cut my teeth in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I'm an LA-based comic. I still got my place in Los Angeles. Luckily, I got a buddy staying there. Otherwise, I would have had to have lost it. And I want to go back. I just don't know when I'm going to go back. I got a new manager I'm working with, a new agent. They're like, when are you coming back? I'm like, coming back to what? What am I going to do?
No, it's so weird, man. Hey, did you
Yeah.
ever work with any celebrities like Frank Sinatra or anything like that? Dean Martin? Did you ever meet anybody like that?
No, but Dina Martin is Dean Martin's daughter. I've toured with Dina many, many times, hundreds and hundreds of times. I spend a lot of time with Dean's daughter, Dina, and Dina does her father's songs with the big band, and that is like the Rat Pack of the day.
Yes. She's a great lady. I know her. She's a really cool lady, man.
And when you talk to her and she tells you stories about her uncle, Frank Sinatra, and her uncle, Jerry Lewis, and Sammy Davis Jr., you all ears. And you get the real story, man. I'm very happy they've been bringing back the Dean Martin roast.
Right.
But they call it the Dina Martin roast. And I got to be on the dais, and many different roasts I did, but the one that was my favorite was me, Joe Piscopo, a couple other guys, and we roasted Joe Mantegna from Criminal Minds.
Wow.
And I let him have
it. I'm sure you did.
We had a lot of fun, man. He's a great guy.
Mike doesn't come back. I know that.
Yeah. No, you do it in the classy way, the old school way.
Yeah. You worked with Jay Leno. I know Jay Leno pretty well. I've met him a bunch of times over the years, and I love the skit that you did with the Baywatch. How did that come about? I know it was popular at that time, but tell me, how was it working with Jay and on the Tonight Show?
I was on a Tonight Show for about 10 years doing sketch comedy. So you figure I was on a show maybe once a month.
Wow.
Every other month, sometimes maybe 5 times a month. You never know what was going to happen. They would write sketches very, very quickly and off the cuff. Sometimes they'll call you in the morning. Can you be here in an hour?
Wow.
But it was like being part of Saturday Night Live in a way. There was about 30 sketch players on the Tonight Show.
Mm-hmm.
And the specific one that you're talking about actually made me very angry.
Really?
I know where they got that idea.
Okay.
Remember I said I did Italians on Baywatch?
Right.
Well, Baywatch was on television.
Right.
So they had a show. This is a true story, man. They had a show at the Comedy Store called The Night of 1,000 Guidos, hosted by Andrew Dice Clay and all the Italian comedians. Joe Rogan, me, a guy named Mike Ricca, Sebastian Maniscalco when nobody knew his name.
Oh, that's amazing.
Sebastian was always there. I did many, many shows with him and a lot of these guys, right? So I did this joke about Italians on Baywatch. Mm-hmm. Hey, you was in the water, you drowned in, don't make me get up, stuff like that. The next day I get a phone call from the Tonight Show. They say, come down, we're doing a sketch. You're really going to love this one. It's Italians on Baywatch. I'm like, are you shitting me? Who from your staff was at the Laugh Factory last night? And it was one of the writers.
Oh, wow. And
when I went down there, I looked at him, Italian kid from Brooklyn. I'm like, wow, man, you probably didn't even know they were going to hire me, did you? The guy you stole the joke from was hired by that guy. Hi. And my buddy who invited him, who performed that night at the Comedy Store, said, he goes, what are you mad at? Your bit is going to get done on a Tonight Show. I go, it's not mine, it's his. Wow. It's going to look like it's his. And they screwed the whole thing up. My buddy got cut out. He wasn't even in it. And I got all the glory because I was there in my little underwear shorts.
I saw that. That was great.
That's great. Wow. But I never did stand up on a Tonight Show. I was always the sketch comic. 2 years of doing sketch comedy on a Tonight Show, I was opening for Jay at a private function.
Oh, cool.
And he says to me, what are you doing here? I says, I'm a comedian. He goes, I had no idea. Figured I was an actor and I know how to do comedy.
Right.
And then he said, why don't you do the Tonight Show? And I go, why don't you tell me? I mean, I'm on the show with everybody. Shouldn't I be doing it here?
Right.
And they never let me do stand-up. And that year, I did stand up on the Martin Short Show. It was my first TV appearance on a different show 3 blocks away. And when I was done doing the set, I had to do a sketch on the Tonight Show the following week. Wow. So I go down and do the sketch, and the stage manager was a female, and she says, I saw you on the Martin Short Show. And I go, yeah. She goes, you were great. I go, thanks. She goes, why aren't you performing here on this show? And I'm like, do you all talk to each other? Do you all talk to each other? I mean, they literally tortured me.
Wow.
But if I was to really insist on being a stand-up comic on a Tonight Show, and I got it, they probably wouldn't let me do sketches. So I kind of weighed the pros and cons. And I'm like, wait a minute. They call me all the time. I make a lot of money. I get residuals. Might as well just keep my mouth shut.
Absolutely. Better off doing that.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry, let me shut off my phone. Sorry about that.
No problem. So I hear 2024, you're going to become the first Italian-American president. You're going to run?
I've been running for president for 13 years.
Wow.
I don't know why they don't take me seriously.
You got my vote.
I tell people all the time, I'd make a great president. Hello, people. Do you have a question for guests? Oh, that's you guys.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Yeah, we're taking questions. A long time ago, I have an uncle in my family. He's no longer with us, but he used to talk about what he would do if he was in different positions in the world. Mm. You know, hey, if I was president of the United States, you know what I would do? And I was like, listen, you're a garbage man. You wouldn't do anything. But I started to think, well, what if I was? And what would I do? So I went on to another talk show, which was called the Byron Allen Comics Unleashed.
Right, that's a great
show.
At that time, 7 million views, I heard. 7 million views, imagine.
Oh, not 14, 15 million. It went over the top.
Wow.
And I never got the views because it was on the Byron Allen Show YouTube channel. I got the fame, he got the money. I'd rather have the money. Fuck the fame. You could keep the fame. You can't eat fame, but you can't even live in fame. But I went on the show and I did the joke about whacking Osama bin Laden. And I had no idea what was coming. I figured it was another night out. You got your $500. You kept your mouth shut and you went home. And when it came out and the ticket tape started going bing, 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 bing. And then you heard everything from this guy's great to what an asshole. But it hit 7 million on one channel. Then it hit another 14 million on another channel. And then wherever I went, people were like, hey, man, you're that guy. You're that guy. I'm like, my name's Mike Marino. They just didn't write it down. So we made a web series about it called Make America Italian Again when the president went in the office. Mm-hmm. And he said, make America great again. So we said, make America Italian again. I grabbed 10 of my Goomba Italian friend comics, and we made a little web series. Got picked up, went on another night, a viral something exchange shit on the internet.
Right.
And we were supposed to shoot a whole new series this year, but we couldn't shoot.
Oh, man.
So hopefully next year we'll shoot a pilot. Now we're going to have to involve different subject matter, which is easy. I can't wait to talk about if I was president, what I would do to Antifa. You're taking over the street. We'll be right there. I heard you're going to have a barbecue. We'll bring the ribs.
Let's send a couple of you guys from Brooklyn, from New Jersey. They'll straighten everything out. That's all.
Yep. I always really wanted to be president. Sometimes I think I'd make a great president. Look, I'm not married. I have no kids. I got plenty of time. I think I would give a better speech. I would never tweet. I don't want nobody knowing what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to move to Washington. There's a place down the block. We'll move the White House here to Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And how much fun would it be? You know, they'll ask me questions. What would you do? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. We got it. That's my slogan. You don't know nothing. You don't see nothing. You don't say nothing.
That's right.
Make America Italian again. Keep your mouth shut. I'm going to bring back old school things. Discipline. Hit the kids. Hit them. You don't hit your kids. We'll hit them for you. We got it.
Mike, were you ever in The Sopranos or part of The Sopranos at all? Or were you?
No.
No? I'm surprised. Why?
I was asked to do a stand-up performance at Sopranos Con last year, but I couldn't make it. I was asked to do it this year, but they didn't have it. But it's kind of hard to perform at a Sopranos Con when all the people who've been on the show are sitting around signing autographs, where I actually would be drawing my crowd to watch me do stand-up comedy, which is not about the Sopranos.
I know they have another one coming up, some sort of Soprano movie con or something coming up in, I believe it's in the summertime.
They made a movie called The Saints of Newark.
Yes. So, but anyway, tell me about Walmart. I heard you shop at Walmart. You almost got a gig there. Tell me about that. Hilarious
Hey man,
stuff.
let me tell you something. I love going to Walmart. I don't go there because I got to buy anything. I go there with a pad and a paper. I take notes. Comedy 101, Walmart, Costco, you gotta go. I could find a joke a minute. Do you know you can see a dentist now at Walmart?
Really? I didn't know that.
No, it's not a joke. He works there. But the joke would be, who sees the dentist at Walmart? Who walks into Walmart and goes, you know what? I got a toothache. I'm going to see a dentist right here at Walmart. I heard he's in aisle 3. You don't even need an appointment.
Wow.
And you know what's going to happen next? Self-serve dentist. You do your own drilling. You want full service? No, give me a quick check. I'll check myself out. Hold on, I forgot to give my coupon in.
Wow. That's great. That's great.
Just wrote that.
And you have to check out your own groceries at Walmart, right? I mean, and that's like you're part of the staff, right? Yeah, I heard you talking about that.
I hate checking out my own stuff. I look at these people and you ever check out your own stuff and somebody's behind you looking at you like you're a loser, you don't know what you're doing? That's when I turn around and I go, it's my first day.
That's great.
I just started. You know what I did once when I went to Walmart? I went to the break room. There's a break room in the back.
Right.
All the employees were in there with their little aprons on. Guy says to me, he goes, what are you doing back here? I said, I just got off. Take your time, boys. This is all I got.
Oh, that's hilarious, man.
Hey, do you know what you can get at Costco? I went to Costco to buy a jacket. I got a great winter jacket for $23.
Wow.
It's the best. And not only is it $23, they throw in 2 hats.
Oh.
Get the 2 hats. Yeah. But the clothes are right next to grass seed.
Mm-hmm.
And next to the grass seed was a piano. You could buy a piano at Costco.
Wow.
But there's no Steinways, just Kirkland's. Get socks and piano lessons.
Oh man.
Doesn't it make you wonder, like, who walks into Costco and goes, oh man, I got to get a piano? Where are you going to go? Costco.
First place of choice.
You know what else they sell at Costco? Coffins.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And you know where they sell the coffin? Inside the store? By the exit.
Oh.
How is that an impulse buy? How does somebody finish shopping and going, you know what? Get a coffin. I mean, we're here.
It's on the Christmas list.
They even had damaged ones, a busted coffin, 50% off.
Oh my God.
Makes you wonder what's wrong with it. Is it missing the handle? You can't carry it. You got to push it. What's wrong with this one? The guy came back to life. He didn't fit. He was too tall. We couldn't close it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Something happened.
You look around you and you see all these little clues that they give you these jokes, right? It's amazing.
Oh, come on, man. People say to me all the time, where do you go for lunch? I'm like, Costco. You get a hot dog and a Pepsi for $1.50. You might die, but it's $1.50.
Wow.
I love it.
That's crazy.
And I heard you say, and I know exactly what you mean when you're turning 50, it's no picnic at all.
No.
Absolutely not. I agree with you.
I'm making noises now, no matter what I do. I got the noise. Like what? I'm gonna get up. Oh,
Yeah.
oh shit.
That about sums it up.
How did the noise? I tied my shoe like this. My belly gets in my way of tying my shoe. I got to tie my shoe on an angle. You ever sneeze and break a calf? You ever take a nap and wake up with a separated shoulder?
Yeah, absolutely. I've done that before.
You ever have your eye flutter? It just flutters.
Yep.
And then you ask somebody, can you see this? And they're like, no, I don't see nothing. Well, stop. You got to look. Don't you hate when people don't look? Look, you're not looking.
Wow.
I take baths now to heat up my bones and heat up my whatever it is to heat. And then you know what I put in the bed? Epsom salts.
Really?
How embarrassing. You know what? I'm going to work on a new routine because this is really happening to me. I get up every night at 2:00 in the morning and I got to pee. I got to pee really, really bad, but nothing really comes out. It's just like, I got to pee. And then it's like, poof. So you know what I did? I put a really big gulp thing near my bed and I piss in that. Like a bedpan. But it says 7-Eleven. I pissed in a 7-Eleven cup from 1986. Big gulp. Wouldn't it be funny if somebody came in my room? Hey, you mind if I get a little big gulp? Yeah, help yourself. Have that with your breakfast.
You're welcome.
Wow.
I mean, it's getting to the point where a lot of things are starting to break down. I had the COVID. Did you guys know that?
I did know that. Yeah, I was going to ask you, how you doing since you had the COVID?
I'm fine.
He sounded.
I don't make fun of it because I tell you, a lot of my cousins have it. A lot of my friends have it.
Really?
And when I had it, you know, of course, I panicked. And I'm like, I can't taste anything. Wow. I can't stop coughing. I'm shaking like a leaf. 911, come and get me. Wow. So I went to the hospital. When I went to the hospital and they ran all the charts on me, they said, okay, go home. I went home in an Uber. And the next day they called me and said, all right, you got the COVID. Don't leave your house for 2 weeks. And I go, well, how do I get over it? I'm like, just some over-the-counter drugs.
Wow.
I took NyQuil, Dayquil. That's it. I didn't take nothing. I didn't take nothing. They didn't give me nothing.
That's for, you had fever and all that type of thing?
I never had a fever.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Wow.
But I lost my sense of taste and smell. That was creepy.
Yeah. But thank God you got it back. Thank God you got it back.
Well, I got it back. Either that or I'm a really bad cook. But one day I was in the bathroom and I don't know what I ate, but I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. That smells really bad. Thank God.
Or a nice smell of nice Italian pizza, right?
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed with some pizza in New Jersey these days. I got to be honest with you, man. In this town I grew up in, there's like 4 pizza places in walking distance of each other, and they all suck.
Really?
They suck. How did people forget how to make pizza? First of all, the cheese don't fall off the fucking top. Something you're doing is wrong. It stays on. And if you don't got it down where you got the sauce and the cheese and all the ingredients nice on a thin slice of dough where you fold it and you put it in your mouth and you enjoy it. Go to Pizza Hut, fucking learn something. It's something that's not right.
You think it's
because not right?
You think it's because they got immigrants, a lot of immigrants working there, and you don't have the old-fashioned Italian people running in anymore. That's the problem, I see.
Maybe.
Wow.
Because you're looking at these people like, how are you screwing this up?
Yeah,
exactly.
Who's in the back? Yeah, who's making this shit?
Yeah, very rarely do you see Italian people making pizza anymore. I live in Brooklyn, and you don't see that anymore. I mean, the pizza's decent here where I live. I mean, it's not bad, but better than most places. But there's still not a lot of Italian people actually making the pizza anymore. You know,
I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Yeah,
like it is funny though when you do see other people from different parts of the country, and they're like, "How many slices do you want?" I'm like, "What did you say? What? What?" Come on, man. Stick to your own food. You were good at that. Do that. There was a Quick Check in this town. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Quick Check. And it was like a family Quick Check. Everybody went in there. And they were playing music all the time. You get good sandwiches. The place was packed. Like 24/7. The Quick Check was packed. Now it's like a mini mart bullshit or whatever. And half the people don't speak English. And I feel like going, you know what? You're going to go out of business. These people in this town, they're not going to come in here, man. Because you came in here to find your friends, to have a good cup of coffee, to enjoy each other. Now it's kind of like, what happened? Where is everything?
Yeah. Crazy.
I like the neighborhood thing. That's what I like. I want a neighborhood thing. If I walk into a Chinese place and there's an Italian guy making the Chinese food, I'm walking out. Now, if I could say that, I should be able to say that about anybody. I want the authenticity, right? Let's be honest with you. If you go to a diner and it's not a Greek diner, you ain't going to have good coffee.
Yeah, you're right. 100%.
I love Italian coffee. I like a nice cappuccino, I like a little espresso. But if you want diner food, you go to a Greek diner, you get way too much food, you're taking half of it home with you, and they keep on putting coffee in your cup. It's Greek coffee, it's the best. Right? And how do you know you're going to a Greek diner? Because there's huge statues out there with wings, and the place is silver. You know you're pulling up to a Greek diner at night because your headlights bounce off the silver, and it goes, oh, Greek, dun, dun, dun. And hopefully the people are rude. That's when you know you're going to get good food.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You walk into a diner. How many in your party? Oh, we're going to eat so good. Right?
Yeah. Those have that nice spinning wheel with all the cakes in it when you walk in. Love those places.
The cakes, the big cakes.
Yeah, the big cakes, the huge cakes.
You don't even know baklava. Like a baklava. There's this one guy who works in the diner over here. I don't think he's cut his eyebrows in 100 years, and they're so big they could touch you. Hello, hello, hello. And as soon as you see that, you're like, oh, the hamburgers are going to be great. Crusty old guy is creepy. He's always reading the paper. I'm like, look up. Watch the television.
Oh,
Yeah, the other
my
part of that is also the nose hairs, which is a little bit more distressing, but it's
It takes your order. How many? Achoo!
It's like a little mini mustache underneath.
Yeah. It's got the Fu Manchu.
Oh man.
Like you got some great stuff going on. So if anybody wants to hear you, where can they hear you? You got a podcast. Talk about your podcast. How's that been going?
Well, you know, after 2 years of traveling the country, I was always doing a live feed on Facebook so I could show people where I was and what the country looked like.
Mm-hmm.
We did a couple of episodes from Cuba. I mean, who gets to go to Cuba, you know?
Right.
So now that I'm quarantined or all of this lockdown, I figured I'll shoot down my basement. So I called the show Live from My Mother's Basement. And I basically was just doing on Facebook Live, but then a lot of people started watching. So I did it on Facebook Live and Instagram every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
Oh, cool.
And we added it now to Spotify and Anchor, iTunes. So you can listen to it wherever your podcast application is. Right. And you listen to Live from My Mother's Basement. But I think it's more fun for me to do it visually. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to do what you guys are doing, but I'm going to figure it out. And I'll end up doing it that way so that I can get some of my celebrity friends to come on my show without them being afraid to go down the basement and sit next to me and do it that way, which is more fun. I want to be in the room with the guy.
Right, exactly.
We have it catered. We're eating. You can't even know what we're telling. I'm fucking spitting up food. I got a nice sponsor. Thank God. Every month they put some money into it. So if I could take it higher and do some stuff, I'd like to do it. I miss touring. I want to go live. I want to go back out on tour, but I did do a TV series called Silent Partners. And Silent Partners is about the mob in the 1980s in Miami. And I hope that hits because it would be like watching The Sopranos again, only back in the day of the 80s in Miami. Totally different cast.
Right.
The first time in my life I'm going to get to play an underboss. Mm-hmm. And the character is fun, silly, and crazy, but he's probably the nastiest prick in the show. So you don't want to mess with me. I'll take your heart out. I'll tell jokes the next day. And I'm supposed to do a movie in April. It's about the roller derby.
Oh, really?
And I play one of the guys who owns a roller derby team of girls, kind of like Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, wow. So what do you enjoy better? Is it acting or is it stand-up or both?
Well, if I had to pick one, I'd pick stand-up because
Really?
live performing is just the greatest feeling in the world. To show up to a place where your name is in lights. Where is it? Over there.
Over there.
I steal my own marquees. I usually walk out taking my own picture. And there's no greater high. I mean, it's better than sex. It's better than food. It's better than, well, it's not better than money, but it's close. Especially when you hit the thousands.
Wow. You have some great stuff on your website, too. I mean, you sell some great T-shirts, masks, panties, sweatpants, pictures, and live DVDs, all at MikeMarino.net. Great products. How do you come up with all these products? And even, I love the masks.
Today, I actually did a one of them stories on Instagram. The first shirt I ever made was white and blue, and it said, "Get the bat." And then my second show, so I said, I did "Get the bat." Then I did an album called Jersey Born and Raised when Rascals was alive back in the day in West Orange.
Sure. And
then I did Live from the Paramount, which the first time I had a DVD in Target stores. Wow. And so I had matching materials then. So I always came up with a shirt. Now the shirts all say "Make America Italian Again." And they have my crest in the front. And it comes in sweatpants, hoodies, the masks, T-shirts for guys and girls, and the "Get the Bat" panty.
I love the stuff, man. It's great. Really cool stuff. Really cool.
Well, we're running a sale right now. It's 20% off until December 31. So if anybody out there is listening or watching the show, go to MikeMarino.net and you can get everything that you want, 20% off. And I'll try to get it to you for Christmas.
Yeah, I love the pictures too. You got some great pictures for sale and really cool stuff. Man. Yeah, I'm looking at the panties. I see the panties right in front of me. I'm like, uh-oh.
I can't even believe how nice that is. What an ass. Holy shit. If you click on it, it turns to the blue one.
Oh, does it?
Okay.
Really?
It comes in blue with white lettering.
Oh,
yeah, see the blue one?
Oh, there you go. I see the blue one. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know who that is.
I was wondering who you got to model that for you.
Well, there was a hired model and she's got some ass, boy. Holy shit. Damn.
Oh man. What advice would you give out, like somebody just starting out in comedy today? What advice would you give them if they're just getting into the business?
Stay in school, get married, and have kids. This is not for everybody. You know, I used to teach stand-up a long time ago in Hollywood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell everybody one of the biggest mistakes most comedians make is they don't show up. And everybody goes, what does that mean? I'm like, they don't show up. They're very undisciplined. You have to go out every night, whether to show your face and let everybody know that you're alive, or to get on a stage, tell a few jokes, bomb as badly as you can, as many times as you can. This way, in the future, you know what it's like to get beat up. Mm-hmm. Then you get to the point where you know how to get around it. You get better and better and better. And before you know it, if you're so tough from getting your ass kicked and you show up somewhere all the time, mm-hmm. people take notice.
Wow.
And there's a lot of different ways to perform. You could perform in an urban club and be dirty. You could perform in a clean club and be clean. You could do a corporate event. You could host. You could be a prop comic. You could be a political humorist. There's so many ways to go about it. And you just got to spend some time researching on what it is that you really want to do. I always wanted to be part of all of it. I want to do all of it. That's why I do the characters. I do my Stone guy, Mooney. I do my Uncle Tommy, who really existed. And now I'm doing a girl named Michelle, or if it's a girl or whatever you want it to be, you watch.
Right.
And believe it or not, the Michelle character is getting more fan mail than I ever imagined possible.
Really? Wow.
Anywhere from she's right, or he's right, or where did she buy those things? I can't believe it's you. I'll never look at you the same way again. I mean, it's crazy. But I took a chance because I was doing a performance at the Laugh Factory, and I talked about what happened to me when I walked into a Starbucks. When the Jersey boy walked into a Starbucks, I didn't say, give me a coffee. I said, can I have a latte? And it just spiraled. And everybody was like, do more, do more, do more. So I went and bought a wig and some lipstick, and I said, hello. And it's fun.
Wow. You've hosted so many great award shows, right? All the way from Hollywood to Beverly Hills to Hoboken. When you look back on your career, what is your greatest achievement?
This is the Oscar for stand-ups. Bob Hope.
Really? Wow. Check that out.
This is the Bob Hope Award for USO comedians who toured different parts of the world to entertain the troops like Bob Hope did back in the day. And they did this about 6-7 years ago at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. And they gave it to about maybe 20 comedians for dedicating their humoristic styles for around the world. I went to Afghanistan, Baghdad, Kuwait, Kosovo, the Cold War areas, and he entertained the troops. And they finally acknowledged it. Bam.
Amazing. So you did a lot of work with USO. That's pretty cool. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. I actually have a flag that flew over a Marine camp in Afghanistan. They gave it to me.
Oh, wow. That's
Downstairs.
Pretty cool. So was Bob Hope in charge when you actually did it, or was it Wayne Newton? Because I know Wayne Newton took it over later on.
Bob Hope's been gone a long time. I don't know when he passed, but I thought this was a really cool idea. Look at that. It's an Oscar.
It's really cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. And you're in the New Jersey Comedy Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Can't get better than that.
He's got so many freaking awards. Look at this.
Look at this. Is that it?
This is the New Jersey Comedy Hall of Fame. I think I was inducted in the third year.
Okay.
They had Jerry Lewis from New Jersey, Lou Costello from New Jersey, Mike Marino, and I don't know who after that. 2008.
Wow.
2008. 2006, I did Live from the Paramount. Now, the Paramount Theater in Asbury Park is 1,600 seats, and it had been condemned for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
But a friend of mine said to me, you could be like the Bruce Springsteen of stand-up. Why don't you go rent the Paramount and do a comedy special in there? And I'm like, okay. So we went there, and I looked at the Paramount, and I said, has anybody been in here? It was chained up.
Wow.
So they gave it to us for free and said, go ahead and film. I remember the director came and he goes, you can't film in here. This is a suicide mission. Where are you going to get the people?
Really?
Where are you going to get the lights? Where are you going to get the cameras? Where are you going to get the sound? This is a shell. It was a shell.
Oh,
and
wow.
They got the lights, they got the cameras, and 1,600 people.
Wow. So you've been performing a long, long time. Now, I always ask all comedians this. Did you ever work Brooklyn? There was a place called Pips in Sheepshead Bay. I was curious if you ever worked there.
Once.
Oh, really? You did? Wow. How awesome is that? I know Dice was there. I think Rodney was there. So many guys, Jay Leno, everybody was there. So that's so awesome. We got to perform there.
But it was one of the most famous comedy clubs at that time. I was not a part of it. I did not really do stand-up that much. I went there because I was friends with Andrew Dice Clay's opening act, Michael Wheels Parisi.
Oh, I remember Wheels. Yep. Wow.
And Wheels was performing there.
Wow.
So he asked me if I wanted to come, and I did 5 minutes, and that's it.
Oh, really? I saw Wheels open up for Dice at Westbury Music Fair. That was some show, boy. Wheels opened up for Dice, and Dice just sold the place out. People standing outside, pretty wild.
I've
What a
been
great
friends
comedian.
with Wheels for 30 years.
How's he doing? Is he doing good?
He's doing great. He's down in Florida now. I'm probably going to see him next week when I go out there. He's in the Punta Gorda area, and he's all over my videos. He plays my best friend in a pilot we did called Reconstructing Jersey. He's in the Make America Italian Again scenes.
Oh, very cool.
In my opinion, one of the funniest guys in the world.
So now you're headed down to Florida for the New Year's Eve shows, right? At the Visani Comedy Theater in Port Charlotte, right?
Yeah, the Visani Comedy Theater in Port Charlotte, or Punta Gorda, whatever you call it, is one of the greatest places really in the country. The food is unbelievable. And
awesome.
It's Italian. And the place is shaped like a King Arthur is in there, or something like Knights of the Round Table.
Wow.
Kind of funny. And they pack them in, but they're going to do social distancing. So the shows will be 5 instead of 2 type of thing. And there's 2 shows on New Year's Eve. So I'm going to ring in the New Year there.
Oh, that's great. So you can't really, with this whole social distance, you can't really mingle with the people. So that must be very weird for you.
Sucks.
It does.
Well, you work so hard to get off the stage and shake hands with everybody, talk to everybody, make some friends.
Right.
You can a little bit. You put your mask on, but it's not like you're going to sell a shitload of products.
Right.
The thing I did in Arizona, people were coming up to me, and I said, "You have to put your mask on." If I get caught taking a picture with somebody, they don't have the mask on. You don't know what person's going to call you and say you're an asshole.
I got you.
You're right. So it's all the Italian comics out there. There's really not that many Italian comics out there, is there?
Well, there are. One of the guys making big noise in the business right now out of Long Island's Anthony Rodia.
Oh, yeah, Anthony.
He does really, really funny characters with the distorted face.
Yes, I saw that.
From his family background.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Vinny, I think.
Yeah,
he's Uncle Vinny.
Big DiBattista is kicking some serious ass.
Yeah.
Sebastian Maniscalco, of course.
Yeah.
I like to throw my name in that mix. And then I really don't know who else other than that.
Wow. And also, I'm looking forward to Valentine's Day weekend. You're headed down to Staten Island for a Valentine's performance at the St. George Theater, right?
Got moved.
It did?
October.
Oh, we got to wait till October now. I was looking forward to Valentine's Day. Now it's October.
I think I'm going to do that show with Joe Gorga from Jersey Housewives.
Oh, okay.
He's Melissa's husband, Melissa Gorga's husband, Joe Gorga, and they're on the Jersey Housewives. And he and I did a couple shows together. We're supposed to do a bunch more. We had to stop because of COVID. But I think I'm going to do the show with him and the band called the Rock Lobsters. I believe that show's like October 20.
Wow.
2021.
Oh,
today I just got booked back at the Count Basie, March 20.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Are you at the Count Basie or are you with somebody else?
By myself.
Cool.
I'm only doing 150 seats. So Count Basie, March 20 for Jersey. December 30 through January 2nd, I'll be at the Visani Comedy Theater in Port Charlotte.
All right, I'll try to come out and see you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to come out and see you.
Maybe and then I think you're going out to
Pennsylvania. We're gonna do that show. We'll do another podcast.
Very good.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You guys come to my house.
Cool. We get to hang in your mom's basement. I'm looking forward to that.
Dude, let me tell you something. When we were doing a show in my mom's basement before COVID, I had 20, 30 people watching the show. We had the band. We had it catered. We were having a fucking party every Tuesday night. It was great.
That's awesome.
Wow.
It's fun, you know? You guys know more about radio than I do. I'm just a stand-up who happens to have the gift of gab. I don't know the technical stuff. I don't know how to... I just know how to make people get together and have some fun. And thank God I got the sponsors who throw some money at it. Now I'm going to have to take it to another level, like the way you guys do with Hamilton Radio. Maybe you'll play me on your station or something.
Yeah,
I don't know how it all works.
we're gonna put you on the Roku channel, the new Roku channel for us.
All right.
I'm going to do that, and I'm going to maybe do that web series. If you can send me information on that web series too, because it sounds really, really cool. And if you're going to start it again, it might be a nice way to generate, hype for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Jimmy, got any more questions? Because I want to let our guests go in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask him about the Pennsylvania show. Is it still going to be May the 8th in Glenside, Pennsylvania? Keswick Theater?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, cool. We're looking forward to that. And that's it. Pretty much. I appreciate you coming on the show. So let me ask you before you go: when Mike Marino's hanging out, relaxing at home, what are you doing?
That's for you to find out, my friend.
All right, so we're coming to your mom's basement to find out.
Hey, I'm a good cook, and I make a nice fire.
Sounds good to me. Make some macaroni. Make some pasta.
Macaroni.
Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you being on the show, Mike.
Mike, pleasure. Thank you.
You're always
Thanks,
welcome here at
guys.
Hamilton Radio. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, buddy.
Okay,
that was great.
Jimmy, that was a great show, Jimmy. Great show.
That was great. Yeah, he was funny.
He's funny. He's super funny. So, like I said to him before when I talked to him on the phone, I said, I said, Mike, if you want me to put your show or podcast on the Roku channel, I'm doing a channel with just comedy. So I'm going to probably include his show in there because I got like several comedians that want to be on there. And
awesome.
It's not about the language so much. It's what the content is about the language, right? I don't care if they use bad language, but I just got to let the audience know that just like the comedy channel does, there is going to be bad language or adult situations or, whatever. And once people know that, they're fine.
Oh, cool. I just want to, before we roll out, I want to just do our sponsorship, Celebrity Spotlight on Hamilton Radio. It's being sponsored by J&A Variety, 3103 Avenue U, the corner of Garrison Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. Holiday headquarters with the best selection of toys, gifts, area rugs, custom baskets. They're open 7 days a week with extended holiday hours. Go by, say hello to John and Angela, 718-531-7965. That's 718-531-7965. For more information, it's J&A Variety. Coming up next week on Celebrity Spotlight, we've got a country superstar. Her name is Penny Gilley. She is a television host. She is a musician. She's a recording artist, had a show down in Branson. She's going to join us for my birthday show, which is going to be, I believe, on the 28th, next Monday. So we're looking forward to that. And we have some great shows lined up for 2021 in January. Any parting shots, Doc?
I just want to let you know that I just got this today. This is my keychain for the Jimmy Deal Celebrity Spotlight Show. I love it. If you guys are interested, Jimmy, how can they get one?
Oh, if you know what, you could just go to my Facebook page, Jimmy Deal. If you want one, you just PM me your address, and I'll be glad to send you one. Let me know if you want it signed or unsigned. I can sign the back of them. And also, on the subject of fans, I wanted to say hello to Cindy. She was on here a little while ago. Said hello to yourself, Doc, and me. There you go. Hey, Cindy, thank you so much for spending some time with us. And also Tom out in Long Island, I want to say hello to, and I think Flora in Brooklyn. So many people out there watching, and I really do appreciate it. And another one, Maureen, just popped up. Hey, Maureen, appreciate it. Thanks so much, and we hope that you all come back next Monday and join us, and we're gonna have a great time.
We are. We absolutely love doing the show, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, Jimmy, for the show, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Good night, Doc.
Have a great Merry Christmas. We'll see you on the other side of Christmas next month.
Merry Christmas, everybody.